Going to react to a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So, salute to everyone that's here. Make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't. We're going to talk about the delusions. We're going to talk about women who feel like they deserve more than what they have. And I'm going to talk about why once a woman gets an opportunity to date a professional athlete, she don't want to go back to being regular anymore. She feels like because she was with one NBA player, another NBA player should date her. So let's get into this. Salute to everyone that's here. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't. Make sure y'all are following all my socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, so y'all could be notified when I post a video or when I go live. You can't rely on YouTube. You cannot rely on YouTube to get notifications. You have to be following me on other platforms. I know y'all got other platforms. So let's see who's here. I can't see that name up there. Be Fierce, Willie. Hold up. Dab, Accounting Tom, Shot Socks, Boss Lady, XL Pro, Jimmy J. Let's talk about it. Mall MC, what's good? Again, make sure you like stream if you have it. I've been talking about delusions of these heifers for years. Now, I understand that, you got some people that follow me, because they support female content creators regurgitating what they've heard from me and other men. They don't like when you go at these heifers. They really don't anymore because they listen to women every day. They get advice from women every day. But men like me, we don't ever get tired of checking these heifers. We'll never get tired of that because I know some of you have because y'all listen to women. Women, you follow, you support women, and you get tired of seeing men like me just continuing to hammer them with facts. You're more than welcome to go over there full time. But we're not going to switch up over here. I can call women heifers and still get along with them. You can do the same. Well, maybe not, depending on if your charisma. Depending on your charisma, maybe not. TW Tehran, Brian was good. Sir Yudis was up. So we're going to react to this podcast. I would have thought this podcast was going to go viral because of the clips that were coming out. But this podcast, as of right now, only has 27,000 views after 7 days. I thought it would have done better than that. Maybe he reposted it. I'm talking about Michael Porter because he's a podcaster now. He's an NBA player / podcaster. Leilani was good. General Washington was good. Now, if that was, what's her name? What's the heifer name? If it was, what his name is, the Pearl chick, if Pearl would have interviewed her, that podcast would have probably had 200,000 views. If Pearl would have talked to her. And not only just her, but Denise Garcia, who was the baby mother ex-girlfriend of Lonzo Ball. If it was Pearl, y'all would have been over there in numbers. But because Michael is talking to these women and he's not, well, I haven't seen it, but from what the clip that I've seen, he's really like giving her a dose of reality a little bit, right? Maybe y'all just turned it off. Oh my God, he's checking her. I got to leave. He's getting on her. Why is he doing this? This isn't 2015. That's how these guys are sounding. Have y'all noticed that some of these guys done switched up? They're like F this red. They only want to hear red pill conversations from women. It's weird. What has happened, man? It's hella weird. They only want to hear these type of conversations or content from women. It's crazy. I mean, whatever, I guess, maybe it's helping. I don't know, But salute to everyone that's here. John Washington, what's going on? Landon. It's like you dudes only want to hear from women. Y'all only want to hear like these type of conversations from women. Y'all don't want to hear men say it, speak on it anymore. It's crazy. And this ain't something that just happened. This stuff has been, I've seen it happening since the start of the pandemic. Maybe a little bit before that. The thirst for a woman to say what men have been saying for years. I don't know. It exposes that maybe some of you dudes don't have experience with women. Maybe the experience just ain't there. Yuga was good. Make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't. We're going to get into this. Let me speak on something real quick. I want to talk about Candace Owens real quick. Candace Owens is she's an intelligent female. I don't have bad things to say about it, but I have to be honest about her real quick. I got to be honest. I feel like, damn, I done lost my train of thought what I was going to say. Oh, man. Maybe I'll get back to it later because I was going to speak about Candace Owens. And, yeah. Women like Candace Owens are not a threat. Let me just say this. Women like Candace Owens is not a threat to the power structure. This is why she's allowed to say the things that she is saying. I think it's an absolute joke that she's being sued by the French president. Look, it's a complete sideshow. I mean, he's a bit goofy himself. But if Candace Owens was a black man, they would have already tried to get that particular person up out of here. I mean, Andrew Tate is half black, and look, they're trying to throw him in prison. Candace Owens is not a threat to the power structure. She's married into a white aristocratic family or rich family from the UK. She's no threat to society. That's why she's allowed to say the things that she's saying. I mean, this is no diss to her. She's built quite an audience for herself. But I just feel like the reason why she's able to have these conversations and not feel like she's of any threat is because she isn't. When she said Trump called her personally to tell her to stop talking about the French president's wife, that told me everything I need to know. She's no threat. They know at any moment they can get her to back down on certain things. Look at the person who lost their life, who wasn't even going as hard as Candace Owens is going. I hope people think about that. Men will forever be a threat to society. Women are not. They're not. No matter how much truth you think they're speaking, they're not a threat. They never have been and never will be. This is why they put women in positions of power in corporate America. They're always in HR. They're always a supervisor. They put them in CEO roles because they are no threat. Men will forever be a threat to any power structure. So I just want to say that real quick. But let's get to Brittany Renner. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. Let's get the likes up. I don't want to have to keep saying that either. Now, Brittany Renner did an interview. Her and Lonzo Ball ex-girlfriend. For some reason, she was there as well. I find it interesting that he's interviewing a fellow NBA player's ex-girlfriend, I find that to be definitely interesting. I'm going to get to this first, and then we're going to get to the podcast. Michael Porter Jr. tells Brittany Renner why he doesn't want to marry a woman who has a kid with another player. Michael Porter Jr. isn't interested in being with someone who has a child with another NBA player, but he could change his mind in the future. Dallas Mavericks power forward PJ Washington's baby mama Brittany Renner is the latest guest to appear on Michael Porter Jr.'s Curious Mike show. In a teaser released for the episode, Renner is seen asking Porter why he doesn't want to marry a woman who has a child with another NBA player. He said it would be tough dating someone's old girl, and they just always have that over you, Porter said. It takes a very understanding person to want to take on that role. When you're going into life with a woman who has a child, it's something I've always thought I would steer away from. It could be like an ego thing. And listen, why would you want to recycle another NBA player's ex-girlfriend? I always found it to be weird when I would see these girls hop from one NBA player to the next, one NFL player to the next. Like y'all are sharing this girl. I wouldn't want to be sharing the same girl, especially if she already has a child with another NBA player. Renner asked this question because Porter had previously stated he wouldn't wife anyone who has been with another NBA player. He revealed he had even decided against pursuing someone he really liked for this reason. And that shouldn't be a bad thing. Why would I want another NBA player's leftovers? Why would I want his ex, a woman he still has access to? Because whether y'all like it or not, these women are still going back to their exes and dealing with them, especially if they have a child with that person. These NBA players are in their early to mid-20s. So the girls that they deal with are going to be in their early to mid-20s. These young girls, they're especially nowadays, are not faithful. We got to, listen, this is a generation of cheating heifers, okay? When Renner suggested insecurity might play a part here, Porter admitted it might and shared that he could change his ways. Come on, man, don't back down. Do not back down. No, you stay steadfast. When you have something to lose, you can't play around and mess with these groupies, because that's all these women are. Any female that hops from one professional athlete to another, she is a groupie. She's a groupie. Perhaps Porter will change his mind if he meets. I don't know. It could be, Porter stated. I'm open to change. I'm not stuck in my ways. Perhaps Porter will change his mind if he meets the right person in the future. Only time will tell. Renner hasn't met the right person in her life just yet. The 33-year-old was dating Washington in the past, but the couple split not long after their son, Paul Jermaine Washington III, was born in 2021. All certainly not well between the former lovers at the moment, as they got into a heated argument when Washington was picking up his son. And this is why nobody wants to date Brittany Renner. It's not because she's dated a professional athlete before. This chick got into a verbal altercation for absolutely no reason. Her and her mother got into an argument with him. What man wants to deal with that? What man wants to deal with a woman and her goofy mother? First of all, these grandmothers need to stay in their place. Okay? It's not your place to be in your daughter's business like this. Your place is to be, hopefully, an advisor to your daughter, to advise her on doing the right things, not recording somebody, getting in somebody's face and talking crazy to them. It's always somebody else's fault when it comes to Brittany. It's never her fault. Renner hasn't been making the headlines for the right reasons in 2025. Prior to this, she got divorced from rapper Kevin Gates on May 28th, just 52 days after they tied the knot on April 6th. You think not many would be able to match Renner in terms of controversy in recent months, but Porter has probably surpassed her. The 27-year-old has delivered one controversial quote after another this offseason. Most notably, Porter admitted to using Andrew Tate's clips to test women. He claimed he wasn't a misogynist, but wanted to see how they reacted. Porter, who was homeschooled, also used an interesting example to make it clear he isn't a fan of public schools. I think I would agree with him on that. I think public schools a lot of times are a complete waste of time. You got teachers who can't teach. It can get unruly. I think public schools is a breeding ground for bull BS. And sometimes you got to take your kids out that environment. Despite all the backlash coming his way, Porter hasn't shied away from speaking his mind. You'd imagine the Brooklyn Nets did not see all of this coming when they acquired him from the Denver Nuggets. Porter has stayed somewhat controversy-free. During his 7 seasons with the Nuggets, he averaged around 18 points, blah, blah. A Nets executive has even stated that Porter could challenge for the scoring title in 2026. Well, Porter wants to be a podcaster, so of course he wants to get into the podcasting game now. And that's why he's interviewing other people's baby mamas, because he wants to get into the podcast game. But you got to be careful, because I'm surprised Brittany Renner didn't crash out. But we will see when we get to this clip. We will definitely see if she did, because we all know that she don't like pushback. And when you tell her the truth, I think she gets angry. She doesn't like when you speak the truth about her. And I think women need to hear the truth. I think too many times women hear lies, and we don't need to be lying to women. Say MPJ dumped by Nuggets, unserious NBA player. and the thing, she's walking around with a fake wig. That's not even her real hair. Because when you see her work out, her hair looks a lot straighter than that. But, I guess it's still, she's putting on a charade. Okay. Let's get to this podcast episode. Again, make sure y'all like the stream, and hopefully y'all sharing it.
Mike, I am here.
Hold on. I got to do something first. I got to salute to everybody that's here. Hold up. I gotta make sure that I'm using the account, my premium account, so that the adverts aren't showing up throughout the interview. So give me a second, y'all. Salute to everybody that's here. Hold on a second. Let's see. Hold on. While I get this video up, but I want to make sure I do this the right way. Okay. Let's see. Michael Porter Jr. podcast. I can't believe that this podcast only has like 28,000 views. That's crazy. Did he take it down and
What's going on?
Repost it? That's what I would like to know.
What's going on, y'all?
All right, hold on. Will I get this right? All right. Okay, here we go, people.
Another episode of Curious Mike. I am here with Denise Garcia and Brittany Renner. Appreciate y'all getting on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's an honor.
Denise's first podcast ever.
Ever.
We've Me and you have been friends
Salute. What's good, Edward? Old Trice was good. Antoine was good.
for years
Young
now.
boy was up.
First time meeting you the other night.
Yep.
Y'all have been friends how long?
Since like 2018 too, but we recently just got closer, and then we filmed Basketball Wives, so that I feel like.
Oh, they're
trauma
both
bonded
on
us.
Basketball Wives. Hold up. Wait a minute. Time out. I know Brittany Renner is on there. I did not know that Lonzo Ball's baby mama's on there. Oh, my God. Yo, Lonzo, what you doing, family? Lonzo, why you let this heifer get on Basketball Wives? Come on, Lonzo. You slipping on your pimping. Listen, LaMelo would never, okay?
Talk a little bit about Basketball Wives. What is that, and like, what are y'all? Why'd y'all get on the show, and kind of what are you trying to get across on the show?
You can go first.
Well, I think the first time that I went on Basketball Wives, I was very like friendly, kind of trying to be liked, and I came back full hijab and just different set of eyes, and I thought maybe I would have a different experience, but it was the same bullshit.
Really? So you regret going on there?
The what? I don't have any regrets, no. I mean, I feel like, I don't think there's anything to be proud about when it comes to like checking someone that could be your mother, like the same age as your mom, but old bitches get checked every day, and it's not something to be proud of, but you know.
I gotta check out the show. I've never seen it. Nah,
You're not
but I know
missing anything.
Y'all too, that's probably entertaining.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed it. I just feel like watching it play back was totally different than I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like people didn't get to see the real me. They didn't really get to see like my personality, really.
Is it like, it's reality TV, right? So
Yeah.
they're clipping up and painting the narratives they want to paint.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this season was so unique because you had a mother and daughter relationship that was just like the center and really the theme of the season.
Yeah.
And so like that in itself, watching that play back too was really rough. We were closer to the daughter, Chantel. It was her first season as well. So I feel like that just kind of took up the whole season. So it really didn't get what we kind of wanted, really.
Yeah, I don't feel like at the end of the day, it's really to showcase the lifestyle of people like in that realm. I feel like it's just more centered around the group dynamic and its dysfunction. So naturally, I don't think they even captured our friendship accurately, in my opinion. So, you know, but we made real friends.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Y'all are great friends, obviously. Man, there's.
You should have had
there's
some
such
timestamps on
For
him,
some
man.
reason, such a negative connotation of being like a baby mama. Like, whether the relationship you were in was super like healthy and good, and you had a kid and you brought a kid into the world and it was whatever, for some reason people always take that and run with it.
Yeah.
And a narrative is painted that's so negative sometimes. So how do you guys feel about that, and why do you think that is? I mean, I've felt for you just seeing like some of the stuff you've gone through comments wise, and I haven't known you as long, but I'm sure it's similar. Like, where do you think that negative connotation comes from? And speak on that a little bit.
I feel like ever since my ex and I were together and he posted me, it was like, oh, you're a gold digger. And this was before we even brought Zoe into the world. So I feel like people just think that you're kind of out there for what players can offer you, like financially and just all of that. But my situation, I feel like is like maybe like 10% of the league. Like I knew him before in high school. Like my situation was very different. So like having to deal with that publicly was really hard. I don't understand why fully. Like
that's
we
honestly,
get that.
in your situation, like when you talk about athletes or people that end up having money, it's their dream scenario to, you know, stay with the girl that they went through high school with and grew up with, and that was your and Zoe's situation, and you know, so I don't really understand.
And I was an athlete myself too. Like I had my own stuff going on. I was a soccer player, he was basketball, so it was like I had my own ride somewhere to go play and he had his own, so I felt like that kind of brought us together because we both were student athletes, but we didn't think anything, like I didn't think that, you know, I didn't know what to expect, so I was kind of just experiencing it firsthand. We were so young too, like looking back, I'm like, I don't know how I even was able to navigate that, but I learned a lot.
Yeah, I feel like you have handled it well. Like it hasn't taken away, like since I've known you, it hasn't taken away like your joy of life. You still like to have fun. You're still Denise. It hasn't like beat you up too much. So
Thank you.
In this world, like it's good to have thick skin. Your situation's a little different because you met PJ like later on.
I agree, Joe. And the thing is starting to seep into the NFL as well. These guys are getting these podcasts. Their focus ain't there, right? And I think these guys see the Kai Cenats of the world, or the Playboy, was it Playboy Max? I think that's his name. And they want to be just like them. And they have to understand, bro, these guys are streamers. They're not NBA players. They're not rappers. They're streamers. Well, Playboy Max, I think, raps, but they have nothing but time on their hands. Now, Denise, the ex of Lonzo Ball, she says she's not a gold digger, but what's good, Miss Tangy? But she's on Basketball Wives. Why would you be on Basketball Wives? Why wouldn't you want to go back to having a regular life or just being a regular influencer? Why did you need to go on Basketball Wives? Because nothing but gold diggers on that show. I'm telling you right now.
Correct. How long have you known him? What was that like?
Yeah, I met him, I think we had started kind of like talking in 2019. So kind of like right before he had got drafted.
So she's admitting that you could tell she was a little uncomfortable answering that question. So she's admitting that she started dating PJ Washington when he was at Kentucky. Hold on, let me do something here. How old was PJ Washington before he got drafted in the NBA? So she just so happened to start dating him in 2019 when he was 20 at the University of Kentucky and was about to be drafted. So that confirms what I've said in my videos, that she was at the Kentucky game. She recorded herself at the game. So she singled him out at Kentucky. First of all, the dude is in Lexington, Kentucky. How are you going to meet an NBA player, a college basketball player in Lexington, Kentucky, when you don't even live in Lexington, Kentucky? Now, I believe she went to college in Mississippi, but this was 100% an Instagram thing probably. So what would have made her think that, you know what, a 20-year-old in college would have been a suitable person for her to date?
You know, but let's reverse 1 second, because before we go on to that, because that's just whatever. You have made comments.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're asking us about how do we feel being on the other side of it. My question to you is, you have made comments saying that you would never wife someone who has a child with someone in the league. So my question to you is, like, what inspired you to feel that way? And what connotation do you have about women who have a child with a basketball player?
Yeah, that's a good question.
We'd love to hear the answer.
What?
She wants to hear that because, you know, I don't think Denise is dating an NBA player. Brittany Renner's thirsty to date an NBA player again. And they want to know why. Why would you want to date her? Why wouldn't you want to date Denise, you know? Because, man, these guys don't want to date groupies. Listen, if you are any female who goes from one, let's say NBA specifically, they go from one NBA player to the next. This ain't the 90s, okay? This is the 2000s to the 25s, okay? Everybody's going to know that you dated this person. They're going to know how long you date them, when you started dating them. Nobody wants to date a groupie. And any woman that goes from NBA player to NBA player is a straight up groupie. Groupie. Again, make sure y'all like the stream. Salute to everyone that's here.
What is my connotation? I don't have a negative connotation to it. I think that, you know, my right-hand man, Nicodemus, you've met little Nick, I think, or you know about little Nicodemus, the little baby I'm always with, and him and his wife just separated, and Nicodemus has spoken just on the difficulties it brings once you have a child.
She dated Jamal Murray, Kentucky. She did? Oh my God. Don't tell me she was trying to run through the whole Kentucky team.
Child to then like move on. Like it takes a very understanding person to want to take on that role, take on that, and it can get really messy. Like when you're going into life with a woman who has a child, and now you're having to navigate like how close are you going to get with the child? How does the baby daddy feel about you getting close to the child? So I don't have a negative connotation. I feel like for me, because I don't have any kids, it's something that I've always thought I would steer away from. But I truly feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized like once you meet someone and you're really down for them, then everything that comes along with them, you can decide if you want to take that on or not. I don't have a negative connotation like, oh, that person has a child, so they're untouchable, and that's like a negative thing. I just feel like you have to weigh it out. You have to, because it does, it comes with a lot if you're willing to take that on. So I don't view it negatively. The comments I said about, what comments are you specifically talking about?
I think you're talking about when he said that he wouldn't wife somebody that was already
that
with an athlete.
had talked to an athlete.
Yeah.
I feel like if you've dated like publicly, like a player, it would be hard just because of, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be hard. What do y'all think about that? Do you think
Listen, it should be. It should be. He's absolutely well within his right because like he said, he doesn't have any children. So if you end up dating not only a woman who has a child, but has a child by another NBA player, and she's going to be in and out of court begging for child support. You already know this. And you dating her. So when negative news comes out, he's fighting her in the media. Everybody's going to be looking at you. This is what I have seen this over 10 years of making videos. I have seen how messy these breakups get. I've seen how messy these child support situations get. And if you as an NBA player start dating a woman who has a child with an NBA player, you're going to take on the brunt of the criticism. You're going to become the enemy in that dude's eyes because he's going to think you're enabling her to go after him. So he should be well within his right to say, you know what? No, I do not want to date a woman with a child, especially by another NBA player, because we have seen how messy these breakups are and how messy these child support situations get. And he sees that. Y'all don't think he talks to these other players? He sees this. There are things that these guys are going through that is not in the media, that is not talked about. So that's why he has that mindset, and he shouldn't have to apologize for that. Why should he, change his tune because he's in front of these heifers?
I'm curious on y'all's thoughts because to me, like I said in the comments, like it would be tough dating someone's old girl and they just always have that like over you. Like I don't know.
It's tough. Like I feel like
I could be tripping though. It could be like an ego thing or like a
insecurity thing.
I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. That's just how I've always felt. But I'm open to change. I'm not stuck in my ways.
I feel like I see why guys are hesitant with certain girls because I even see certain girls and I'm like, you make it hard for us women to be taken seriously as like, mothers versus.
Yeah, one of them is sitting right next to you. One of them is sitting right next to you, Denise. She's sitting right next to you. She's the one that's making it difficult. This heifer complained about only having $11,000 in her toddler child's account. This is where we're at.
His baby mama or out here for the wrong thing. So I get that because I see it and I'm like, you guys are surrounded by it a lot. I just think it's up to you guys to kind of like vet those girls out. You know what I'm saying? Because I see what you guys are surrounded by too. So I understand that part of it. But on the flip side, I just feel like the reason why I have stayed true to myself is because you gotta make your private life happy and make sure that whoever's coming into yours and your child's world is adding something.
I agree.
It's definitely, he said it might be a subliminal shot. It is. Look how uncomfortable Brittany Renner looks over there. Y'all see the body language? Y'all see how uncomfortable she was getting? That seat got hella uncomfortable for Brittany, right? She's almost about to fall out the seat because she knows that Denise is talking about her. Because out of all the baby mamas I've seen in the NBA, she's the worst. She's the worst. Because we have visual evidence. We have visual evidence of her fuckery. And she's over there squirming in that seat. Denise is talking about her and she knows this. She knows that she's the one being talked about. Brittany Renner's making it hard for a lot of y'all.
So is your because I agree with you. Your stance, Brittany, because I've listened to some of your like podcasts and talking to guys and whatever, and going back and forth with them. Like, what is your stance on like past? Are you like once you meet the person, past doesn't really matter? What is your thoughts on that?
I feel like everything someone has encountered up into present day needed to happen. So whatever has taken place, whatever puzzle pieces these relationships have given you, I'm not going to judge anyone for it. If I don't want someone to judge me for my past, I cannot judge them. And I feel like, of course, I am always going to be very vocal about that group of people that I feel like, if you have had public relationships or you've just lived a very public life like myself, I always found myself going to bat for and being that voice for that. Because, for me, it's like I live my life out loud. Like, pretty much everything I've done, you can Google and find it. So I feel like you not wanting children, like with someone who already has a kid because you don't have children is a very different energy than, oh, you dated this basketball player who took you seriously, who you thought was your end game, and like I wouldn't look at you as that. Like, to me, that's very egotistical. Again,
Family.
Your preference, you're allowed.
Family, this is a woman who got married and then divorced after 52 days. We not taking her seriously. We not taking that heifer seriously. We not doing it.
That, but I also think it's kind of like, okay,
I feel like it's honestly, it might be the way most men are wired versus how women are wired. Like, I feel like most women, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all don't care as much about past as men. And I feel like that's because y'all have a gift of being more forgiving, being more graceful, being more this, all these things. And men seem to like, dudes will get mad over some stuff that happened 5 years ago when you weren't even with them. Like, I don't know what that is in men. I feel like it's just a difference in like how we view a situation.
What? Now, Michael, you're losing me right now. Michael, you're losing me, bro. The reason why a man cares about a woman's past, because, bro, some of these women are dating some dysfunctional weirdos, and we don't want to follow behind that under no circumstances. We're not taking seriously women who've look at some of these women have dated some of the dustiest, rustiest males that you will ever see. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've dated some creatures. Okay? I'm not talking about anything visual. I'm talking about these guys are mentally unstable. In and out of prison, multiple baby mamas, multiple STDs. This is why we care as men. Because it's easier for a woman to go out there and sleep with a man than it is for a man to go out there and find women to sleep with. Let's be very clear about this. You got women who will say, if they only have oral with a man, then that's not sex. That doesn't count. These are the women we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? You got women who have been double teamed. You got women that have been double teamed by different men. So yes, body count do matter to men who are careful, who take care of themselves. They don't want to deal with a woman who date men who are in and out of the system. They don't want to date women who are loose because reputation matters. And you don't want to get into a relationship with a woman who has a name in the streets. That is what it is. And no man should have to apologize for that. Just like women are picky, quote unquote, about the men they get with, men should be picky as well. But the problem is they don't want men to be picky. They want men to just accept whatever.
I don't really know if it's necessarily like wrong, but it could very well be an ego thing, and that's not the right way to go about relationships. But at the end of the day, I feel like whatever your preference is, there's someone out there for everyone.
Right. But see, Michael, you make what, over $40 million a year, brother? You better choose the right woman, or you're gonna end up with a Brittany Renner who's gonna be chasing you for your money. She's going to be recording you talking about how $11,000 in the child's account isn't enough. Her dysfunctional mother is going to be there as well. People forget Brittany Renner wrote a book, like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, about all these different adventures she's had with men. At least that's how she promoted the book. So yes, body count matters. Look how Brittany Renner turned out.
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I also feel like though that men collectively not only have like pretty low self-esteem for the most part, or their ego is astronomical. I feel like men fixate a lot on someone's past because they feel that another man can permanently taint a woman. You don't have that power. You just don't. So it's like, again,
You don't think so? You don't think
a
some
man
women
cannot
are
permanently
damaged?
taint me. It's just like,
Not
because
you, maybe you're very a strong, independent woman, but a lot of women are they've had relationships that have completely changed their personalities, the way they trust a man, the way they view men in general. I feel like you can be in a messed up relationship that can really mess you up.
right, but I think where I'm focusing on, because I think it's
Listen, she says that no man can imprint a woman. I'm here to tell you that's not true. There are women out there that will tell you that they've been imprinted by a man. Why do you think there are women out here who are willing to fight over a man? They will sabotage their own relationships for a man. I've seen women do it. I've seen women sabotage their relationships because they're still in love with a man that doesn't want them anymore. Yes, there are men who can imprint themselves on you as a woman to the point to where you can't move on.
I get what you're saying. You're saying that people can be jaded from whatever experiences they have. But I feel like when it comes to past and a man focusing on what happened 5 years ago or what man you slept with or what guy you were with, that is thinking when this man stuck his penis in her, she no longer has value. So that to me is where I challenge like that, because it's like, okay, well, who are y'all having sex with? Yeah.
Well, Brittany, it's not just one man. It's multiple men that you've dealt with. Brittany, you have dealt with multiple men in the industry. It's not just one. It's multiple. This is why you are the way you are. Brittany, let us not forget when you were out, you were at some music festival and she got into this dude's face, and she licked. I think she licked her tongue out at him. And let's see. Brittany Renner gets into guy's face at music festival. Hold up. I want to make sure. Yeah, she poured water on him. Yeah, there was an incident at Rolling Loud Music Festival in Miami in 2022. Brittany Renner got into a heated argument with a male fan and ended up throwing water on him. Now, Brittany, this is why background is very important. You want men to forget that you're a dysfunctional heifer. And that incident happened in 2022, 3 years ago. And we see you ain't changed because look at how you acted towards PJ Washington. You wanted to fight his wife. You and your mother. You wanted to fight his wife. What's good, David? Hey, David, I got your PayPal on the last live stream. Salute to you for supporting. So, yes, Brittany, you do need to do your homework, and men need to do their homework and their due diligence on the women that they get with. Absolutely.
We're the whores, but who are we all fucking? You know what I mean? So I think that's kind of where it's like, you know, yes, we're aware of double standards. We all love them when it benefits us. But the truth of the matter is, it's like, if you meet somebody that makes sense, whether they have a kid, whether they've been with someone publicly that was in the league, it's like, why miss out on the potential love of your life just because some guy dated her and it didn't work out? They were meant to have a kid. They moved on. It's just like I said, but
that's probably the mature mindset. No, 100%. I wish I could think like that.
Off that too, it's like why are we seen as like the baggage? You know, like why do we when it's like a blessing?
Mama, there's a baby daddy.
And also right, and also like I really thought, and so did my ex. We thought we.
Yo, they are really bitter. They are really bitter that there are men with standards. There's a reason why there are men who will date a bunch of women that have BBLs, and there's a man that won't date no woman with BBLs. There's nothing wrong with a man having standards. You would think women would want to have standards, right? Why are you trying to argue that a man should overlook the fact that you dated another NBA player? You talked about how much you loved him. You were on a reality show with Lonzo. I'm talking about Denise. She was on a reality show with him when he first got into the league. She has a child with him, but she still thinks that an NBA player should wife her up. With that mentality, she ain't never gonna meet nobody. There's only but so many NBA players. So you just gonna be waiting. Men should have standards. Absolutely. You don't want to just date anything. You got a reputation to uphold. You don't want to be mocked and ridiculed for dating a groupie. Like, come on, man.
We were endgame, and then Zoe came before that. So honestly, it showed me that actually you were not my endgame.
Yeah. And
so it's like I had to learn in a different.
I think it's the same ideology is the reason why men like some type of like purity in a woman, but women don't really like that in men. Like the girls that a lot of dudes go for is like someone who hasn't done everything in the book and like been around the world and seen everything there is to see and done everything. Like they like to bring like a new experience to a woman, and I feel like women are the opposite. They want a dude who has done his thing, can show him, put him on new things. I feel like it's the same ideology. I feel like men and women are wired different.
He's right about that. Women like male hoes. They do. Women they'll tell you they don't want a man who's inexperienced, who don't have a bunch of women that he could call, like, you know what I'm saying? Women like men who have harems of women. Men are the opposite. they are the opposite. Now he's trying to be nice about it. He's not really saying how he really feels, but he's trying to tell them, listen, you know, these are things that go on from his perspective, right?
Different, but putting myself in y'all's shoes, the double standards would get irritating. The fact that we think that we can just have a crazy past and have a million bodies in our past.
A billion bodies. A million's generous.
But then
a billion.
We'll be tripping about if a girl we like
my God.
has however many bodies. My question is, does that matter at all to you guys? Does past matter like at all?
That's hard because I feel like there's a part of me that's like, get it out of your system. I don't care what happened before me as long as it's not happening when I'm with you and after. Mm-hmm. But also, like, to some extent, because who are you exchanging energy with? Right. Like, how
those are real soul ties. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about baggage, like, I believe in that. I believe that all these people that you've been with, you can bring that into the next situation.
You can also cut the cord as well. But
absolutely. Yeah. So for me, it's like, so how accessible are you? Because then that changes things. Like, are you really picky with who you're exchanging energy with? That, to me, is important.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm 33 years old. I'm not having a conversation about like body count. Like in my mind, that's not like something I'm ever bringing up. I just don't care. Again, like every step that you have taken to arrive here, it's written. So for me to like get caught up on all these insignificant really details, like I'm more concerned about, do I like you as a person? Do I like who I am when I'm with you? Can I be more of myself with this guy? These are the three questions that mean the most to me. So all that body count and, you know, all that other stuff before, to me, it's just like, yes, like it's very talked about in pods, but it's like, how are we moving this conversation forward in like a productive way? Because it's like, okay, I don't want a girl who's been with a bunch of guys. Okay, well, I don't want a guy who's been with a bunch of bitches. Great, now where do we go from here? You guys, we want somebody pure. Okay, but you're not. You're asking for something that you're not. Like,
100%.
Like, are you waiting? Have you waited till you are married, or
no?
Because
that's what I'm saying. I think it is.
So you're
a double
not really
standard.
pure either. You see what I'm saying?
I think
she is triggered. Yo, these type of conversations trigger her because, listen, I don't think. Listen, if I'm a professional athlete, because that's what we're talking about here, this is the type of guy she wants, right? You're going to meet women who aren't necessarily pure unless you're in a relationship with a woman that you've been dating since high school, which happens. You do have guys who've been with the same woman since high school. I don't think most men believe that the women they're going to get with are pure. They know that they've had exes before, but we shouldn't have to see books of you and your escapades. She did a whole book tour about all the different celebrity men she was with, athletes, rappers. She did a book. She promoted the book based off of those things. So that is why, Brittany, you are seen the way that you are. See, if you've dated men privately and we didn't know who you were dating, like look at Joy Taylor. We only know of two men she dated publicly, her ex-husband and her ex-fiance. Now, we do know she was messing around with the Fox executive, Fox FS1 executive, but we don't know if she was in any other relationships. No, that was a bad example. That was a bad example. Taylor Rooks, you know, she surprisingly got married recently, but before then, we didn't know who she was dating. She kept her private life extremely private. You'd see her with this athlete, that athlete, in public, right? But it was never any like relationship things, right? She'd just be around these guys. And then she just wound up in a relationship with this guy, right? That might be a better example. Men may see her, okay, she's very private, you know, yes, she's around athletes, but she's not dating any of them from what is out there. May see her as a catch because there's not anything concrete that she's been with this person, this person. She's around them, right? But there's nothing concrete to say she was actually with them in relationships. Then she's out, and then she just all of a sudden married to this guy, right? That she was keeping private. There might be a better example, right? But with Brittany, we've been knowing who she's been dealing with since before the pandemic.
I think it is a double standard. Like dudes really have a double standard on that. I'm not saying a double standard is right. I think that
Here he go.
I'm not saying it's right. I just think it exists for whatever reason it is. I don't know if that's going anywhere. Like I said, there's someone out there for anyone, but I do think that double standard exists, and I think talking about it and getting the perspective from both sides, like, it does matter, because putting ourselves in your shoes, like, we would be mad if there was a double standard. Dudes definitely try to, like I said, have those double standards. You have been in the public eye for a long time. You've been on, social media. I'm not sure how you got the notoriety you got. I remember watching some videos back in the day of you being very outspoken about certain issues. What were some of those things? Was it mostly advocating for women, or was it, like, what back in the day were you speaking on?
Yeah, he does seem a little intimidated because, Brittany Renner's giving him the stare. She's giving him like the death stare. Listen, I remember Brittany Renner back in 2015. I came across photos of her on Google because I was looking up pictures. I was doing a video, and I think I used one of her pictures on my thumbnail. She was one of the earlier fitness models. She went viral for her physique, right? And this was before she ever got with any of these celebrity dudes, right? That's my earliest recollection of her. I think she had just got out of college at the time. She was this racially ambiguous female with this very chiseled female physique. And she went viral for that. And then soon after that is when you started seeing her around the little Uzi Verts and others. But that was my earliest memory. She was one of the earliest fitness models to go viral. Yeah, make sure y'all like the stream if you haven't.
Mostly, and have those views changed at all as you've gotten older, or do you feel like you're still the same Brittany as you were?
Well, I think my heart has never changed. So there's pieces of interviews, videos that you'll find that it still reflects who I am and where I am today. I think for me, a lot of girls coming up, it was the ones who were more quiet. Everyone has their own way of teaching, don't get me wrong, but like, I feel like there were a lot of things that were unspoken, and if I only have value because you don't know my truth, then I don't really have value. So it's like, for me, I just found myself like, what is there to be ashamed of? So when I'm openly talking about my body count on Shannon Sharp or whatever, I'm gonna be ashamed for what? You know what I mean? So I just feel like for me, people just need to be more comfortable with their truth, whatever that looks like. And again, it only takes one person to see your value. That's yourself. When you choose yourself, everything in your outer world, it catches up. So it's like, I will find a man that also accepts me for me. I only need one guy. Yeah. I don't need 5. I don't even 1,000 guys to wrap around the corner and wait for me. Like, for what?
Well, why haven't you found them, Brittany? Brittany, you have been, okay, if we take out the Kevin Gates relationship, ever since PJ Washington, you haven't found anybody. Why have PJ Washington, not only did he get into another relationship, he got married and had another child with his wife. Why haven't you found anybody, Brittany? You say the same things in all your interviews. I'm not a bad person. Body count shouldn't matter. You're judging me. But why haven't you found anybody? You've been broke up from him for years. Why haven't you found the replacement? Is it because you're trying to get an NBA player? They always trying to get a celebrity guy. Maybe you need to stop dating celebrities. How about that? Even famous actresses and famous female entertainers, they go to dating regular men. You could do the same.
So I think for me, it's just like, dude, I'm saying things that people either A, have already done, B, are too afraid to talk about, and C, I just like, and what's gonna come behind it? Because I don't do apology tours, and it is what it is. I accept what comes behind my decisions.
I feel like part of the reason I wanted you on here, I didn't even know you'd get on your first podcast.
I know,
But I was
I
gonna
know,
ask.
that's
I
so
feel like
cute.
part of the reason though is the authenticity you've always had. You know, I feel like speaking on the subjects you speak on and being very outspoken and like that is rare, especially as a woman. But in both of your situations, like the world, in my situation too, just if you're gonna be public at all, if you're a public figure at all, the world does beat you up. They love negativity and all these things. And a lot of your guys' situation has come from men. So has that, not that you guys hate men or anything like that, but has that like weighed on you at all? Like just you with the Andrew Tate podcast, so I watched a little bit of your clips with the Fresh and Fit guy, and you're just like, do those things, having those conversations ever just...
The Fresh and Fit guy. he talking about Myron. Yeah. Oh, Brittany might dislike men. I think she might hate men. You know what I'm saying?
Do you get tired of dudes?
No, did you watch those clips? We had a great conversation.
The Fresh and Fit one, yeah, but
we had a great conversation.
Really?
So we spoke for 2 hours. Now the clip that went viral was me calling them bitch ass niggas. That was like the first 5 minutes.
Not even that. Just the fact that like when you're saying your points or whatever, it seemed like he was like making light of it or joking around.
And that's fine because at the end of the day, I don't question any platforms I'm called to. I'm going to teach and I'm going to share what wisdom was gifted to me, and whether it's received or not is not really my concern. So again, I've sat down with Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, academics, Joe Budden, Kevin Samuels when he was alive. I mean, all these people who were supposed to tear me apart, and it's really just about perspective sharing. So it's like, I love talking to different people. Even a tyrant can be a teacher. So I definitely don't hate men. I think we love men. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're hopeful romantics. Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
I think.
Well, of course you love men. Of course, Brittany. That's why you go on these podcasts. Also, she was on Cam Newton's podcast. Of course you love men. This is why you go and get interviewed by men, because you want their attention. Right? Yeah, shout out to Kevin Samuels. She was on her best behavior on that Kevin Samuels podcast. Now, if she would have went on there acting crazy, I think Kevin Samuels would have been more, would have went at her more, but she was on her best behavior on that podcast. When she was on Academics podcast and she was, going at Myron, if he wasn't taking her seriously, it's because he was matching her energy. The reason why she continues to do these podcast interviews and always explain herself is because they do love the attention of men. When y'all, a little bit back in this clip, in this podcast, Michael Porter said, you're an independent woman, right? And she kind of scoffed at that. You want to know why? Because these women don't want to be independent women anymore. OnlyFans killed that. Social media killed that. Women now seek male attention every single day. They go to bed, they wake up seeking male attention, seeking male dollars. Male dollars. They don't want to be strong, independent women anymore. The only women who talk that nonsense are very unattractive, bad built, mentally unstable women who know damn well ain't no man gonna pay them no attention. And they probably like women anyway. But these women wake up every day. They don't check their text messages. They check their Instagram notifications. They're putting content on OnlyFans. This is the Western woman. I mean, you can't even log into to Instagram without seeing a heifer showing you her assets. It's become it's normalized. Like, listen, you scrolling your timeline, they put all these random people on your timeline. It's weird. All you seeing is assets. That's all you seeing. A chick either standing in front of a camera with her back turned or her walking away from it with her back turned. That's all you see. You don't even know what she looked like in the face. You don't even know what her face looked like. Attention is the real currency. That's what it's about. So, of course, she's going to say she loves men. Of course you do. You alphas wake up every day. How am I going to get attention from men? That's how they think. That's how they think. That's why they single. They too busy trying to get the attention of men they don't know. This is why Brittany Renner will go on all these podcasts. She became a Muslim, quote unquote, because she thinks that that's going to win her points with black Muslims, black male Muslims, like the Andrew Tates of the world.
I think it did kind of harden me a little bit, like to tap back into like my feminine it took me a long time because I was like, hold on, I have somebody to raise. Okay, I have to be an example for my daughter and what kind of love she should see her mom receive.
Right.
So I really had to like look in on myself, work on those things. And I was just like, I can't, I don't have the emotional capacity right now. I need to be at my best if I want the best partner for me and my daughter.
And I mean, it hasn't been public. Like, have you dated anyone since she was born?
She's never met anybody.
Really?
So I'm so picky. I'm literally like so picky with who I choose to date. I really have just been focused on mine and Zoe.
I'm gonna translate that. She can't get an NBA player, so everybody else is excluded. That's what that means.
Zoe's world to this point, I feel like, because I want to be like the best Denise. Like I lost myself so much in that, just trying to be the best partner when it was like I need to look inwards and focus on who I am, what makes me happy, what's gonna make Zoe happy.
Shout out to Gerald.
It's over for her. She's the perfect example of what most modern women are going to be like in the near future. Asterisk like the stream, asterisk.
Yes, like the stream, people. I appreciate that, Gerald. Salute to you, moderator Gerald. Salute to you for supporting, bro.
Zoe wants all her friends to come from like over after school. Perfect. Like it's just our world. So it's taken me some time. I'm really protective. I've yet to introduce a partner to Zoe. I don't know. I'm like I might be a unicorn. I don't know.
What would be the qualifications like of a dude for either of you to like bring in those situations, being a mother now?
You want to go first?
Like, do you want them taking on like a father role at some point for your child? Like, what? Yeah, what are the qualifications?
I feel like she just needs to see an example of healthy love, just getting treated the way that, a woman should be treated, like a queen. And just kind of have that, she has a dad.
Shout out to Devon Allen.
She's on the no married list like Kayla Nicole.
Appreciate that. Speaking of weirdos, Kayla Nicole, she's definitely on the weirdo list. Appreciate that, Devon, for supporting and being a member, man. Shout out to you. And by the way, I did a video on Kayla Nicole and her antics recently on my basic social politics with JayeDeBlack. Click that link that's pinned in the chat. It'll take you to that channel.
So I'm not looking for somebody to come and be her dad, but it's like be that figure where it's like she's comfortable enough to have conversations. You can have talks with her and develop that relationship with her that any little girl needs. Right. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I love that. I mean, I feel the same way too, where it's just kind of like, I think when you have a child as well, life gets very serious, where maybe other instances where you were like horse playing and just kind of doing stuff for the plot. It's like when you have a little person running around and you want to really make sure that, again, like you said, they're treating you with the utmost respect. And yeah, even though, again, my son has his dad as well, but like if we merge a household, that is inevitably going to be a role. Like my son would look for that. Right. So I think it's like, yeah, you want an upstanding guy. You want somebody who is of character, who's consistent, who's a man of his word, who respects you, who's truthful, all these things, you know. So, you know, again, I feel like, you know, sometimes when you have a child, there is that negative stigma just about being a single mom, but there are people who don't care. I mean, look at Sierra and Russell. It's just, she had a baby with Future. My goodness. You know what I mean?
Russell's the best. I'm close with Russell. He was in Denver. I was over at his house, and the way like he views Little Future as like, you know, he takes care of him like
as he should.
It's fire. Now Russell, and there's guys out there like that. What do you?
Let me tell y'all this about Russell. I haven't addressed it yet. This is just a side note. We live. Y'all know these live streams. You know, different topics are gonna come up. Is gonna come up. But let me say this about Russell. I feel bad for Russell because the day that he gets divorced from Sierra, all those people supporting him are going to turn on him. He is the prototypical guy that the majority of these melanated women do not want. And they tell you this every single day. But I feel bad for Russell. I think he is a good dude. I think he has done everything in his power to make sure he do things the right way. And I do think that when they eventually break up, those same people defending him are going to flip on him because that's what these people do. That's what these people do. They call dudes like Russell lames, educated lames all the time. And again, I don't hate Russell at all. I just feel bad for him. I do. I'm not jealous or hateful, want him to fail. No. I just feel like he's in a situation where he's with a woman who's growing restless. And what happens when you're married or in a relationship with a restless woman? She wants out.
Why do these women always talk about being treated like a queen? What does the man get in return?
Thank you, Leilani Mitchell, for super chatting and supporting the live stream tonight. I appreciate it. That's what I tell women. I ask women this all the time. I say, you talk about what a man needs to do for you. What are you going to do for a man? And these women can't give you a straight answer. They think that by giving a man sex, that's all. No, what exactly are you going to give to that man that is beneficial to him? And they can't give you a straight answer. They'll start talking in circles or start shaming you. They never can give you a straight answer about that.
What do you guys think are some misconceptions about you guys as individuals that like the work? Because I feel like you
bring out the parchment.
You haven't really been very outspoken. I know you've been very outspoken and you defend your views and all those things. But what do you think individually are some misconceptions?
People think that, oh my God, they think I'm so opposite of who I am. Like, honestly, like they think I'm just out here. I was out here for the clout and whatever came with Zoe. They label me as a gold digger, a whore, slut, like all just disgusting things. Mm-hmm. They couldn't be more wrong about me, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've seen it all. I'm like, my comments, like.
And they still to this day, 7 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, too many misconceptions to name, to be honest.
What's one that like really like couldn't be more true? Or it couldn't, like is just the opposite of you, or just one you see all the time and it kind of just rubs you? I have mine that people just think about me, but like.
What is it? Let's hear yours first.
A misconception about me?
Yeah.
I don't know. So like back when COVID was happening, right? Like I didn't take the vaccine. Like just because I think you should be able to decide for yourself. I've never really taken vaccines. My parents homeschooled us and we weren't going to school. We weren't doing all that. So like as soon as you don't do something, I feel like that the public is for, you're just labeled as a certain type of person. And you're just like, it was, everybody thinks because I didn't take the vaccine, all of a sudden I'm Trump this and Trump that, all this crazy stuff. I don't know how all that gets grouped together, but there's.
And shout out to the people who didn't take the vax. Okay, shout out to the people who didn't take it because we were proven right about the vax. So shout out to everybody that didn't take it. The Stephen A. Smiths of the world with his weak ass was telling people they need to get the vaccine because he got it, because he's a company man to the core and he's willing to put his health at risk to get paid. Okay.
There's countless just misconceptions that come along with the decisions I've made, and it is tough to deal with, but at the end of the day, people's public opinion of you, like they don't meet you in real life. They don't have a real impact on your happiness unless you let them. Like there is times where I get off social media. Like I would rather just be with my family, my friends, and not even see it, because anybody could say, this doesn't affect you, this doesn't affect you, but at the end of the day, if you see too much stuff, we're all human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do take my breaks from social media for that reason. But at the end of the day, like, it is what it is. That's what comes with it.
Yeah, I feel like I really don't post. I started really posting a little bit more after Basketball Wives because I needed to look inwards and make sure that my life was happy privately. That's why I'm like, I can post a life that nobody really knows about. Mm-hmm. And I take pride in that because it's like, you guys are going to talk shit to me anyway, so I might as well.
All right.
Yeah.
You still didn't answer.
I don't know. You know, I've joined Instagram when I was 20 and I'm 33 now. So I think that very early on, I was labeled a villain. And I feel that in this world, you're either handed a hero jersey or a villain jersey. And I would say even before I really started to just run amok and be vocal, I was already labeled as that. So I think for me, it's like, yeah, a lot of people have horrible things to say, which is fine. Your feelings are not facts, right? And also nobody asked, but thank you for sharing that. Somebody cares somewhere in the world. But it's just like, I don't know, I think sometimes too, like those negative, like those misconceptions and just people being nasty, I kind of like the benefit of it, because if people think I'm like this terrible, nasty, horrible, succubus, harlot, whore, villain, stay the fuck away from me. Like, don't talk to me, or like keep your distance if you see me. Like, I don't really mind that, but I don't know. I just feel like there's just a lot of negative things. I would say more recently, probably the stuff about just with being Muslim and their reasoning why they feel I converted. I think that stuff has just been maybe more of the glaringly obvious stuff that has been thrown at me, which is like, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. I feel like what's really weird though is like in your guys' situation, your baby daddy probably approached you guys, and they'll label you guys like you guys are like trapping guys, or any baby mama who's the baby mama of a wealthy person, a rapper, athlete, whatever. The woman is the one who gets shamed and gets degraded. So I find that kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can tell you the day, it's so funny too, because the day that I met, we went to the same school, the same high school. The day that I met him was after practice, my senior year. We went to the school, like hosted this dinner at this like, it was called Pappuccino's. It's like this little restaurant in Chino Hills, and basketball team was going to CIF finals, soccer team was going to CIF finals. So it was just like a intimate like dinner on the patio for us. And it was after practice, and I told my coach, I was like, I don't want to go. I'm tired, I have homework, like we have this game coming up. Don't want to go, what's the point? I can't even get cute. Like we're going straight after, what's the point? You know, like we're not gonna, and I remember like that was the first time I had seen him, but I had gone to school with him all these years. I was just doing my own thing. And sure enough, like he approached me, and since then, like after that night, like we were kind of inseparable. And we had our own things going on. So it's like it lands.
So that video on Nikayla Nicole is funny as hell. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Listen, I got halfway through this. I'm not going to do the rest of this because it's over an hour long. I think I've said all I needed to say about this. Salute to everybody that's here. I just wanted to get like the main conversation piece, which I think I did. Listen, people. The reason why a lot of women like these two will be single for a very long time is because their expectations to date men who are celebrities. And I think a lot of these girls, once they get a taste of that particular type of lifestyle, they want more of that. Not less of it, more. They complain about what people say, but I mean, you're on a reality show. You're on Basketball Wives, so of course they're going to think that you're a gold digger. Of course they're going to think that. Anyway, shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure y'all click the link that is pinned in the chat. Take you all the links to my different channels, my social media, just so y'all know that's where I post everything that goes on YouTube, because we can no longer rely on YouTube to get the notifications out. So make sure y'all follow the socials, man. Salute to the people that donated tonight. Thank y'all for supporting. And also you can support more by going to the Patreon where I'm putting up exclusive content. And you can join this channel and join the Chat Elite. Just click that join button. Thank y'all for being here tonight on this Tuesday. I think it was a good show. I was able to come and speak and entertain. And I'll see y'all on the next show. All right. Y'all take care and have a great rest of your night. All right.